To update, we do want to update that there will not be a treasurer's report today. Mary, is that correct? Did we receive anything in any form, or we're just gonna?
We are very close to having it all ironed out, but there's not one for today.
We can anticipate one at the next meeting, probably. Okay. All right, so there will not be a treasurer's report, and but I don't believe that there are any other changes that need to be made to the agenda for today's meeting. If there are none, I would entertain a motion to adopt the agenda for today's meeting.
Make a motion, we adopt the agenda for today's meeting.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we adopt the agenda for today's meeting. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes from the previous meeting have been posted. Mary, thank you for providing those. Had a chance to look through them, didn't have any questions or concerns. Commissioner Burkhardt?
No questions.
Commissioner Welch? Is there a motion to approve the minutes from the previous meeting?
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the meeting minutes from the previous meeting. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. So a couple of things. First of all, happy St. Patrick's Day to all of you. Glad to have you here with us. As we meet for our second meeting in the month of March, I want to send out thoughts and prayers to our neighbors to the east. It's interesting to me when we look at what's going on with the fires down there in Nebraska. We're very similar. We're a very similar makeup to a lot of that country that's being impacted by that. And we've seen with recent fires here in Goshen County just how devastating that can be. I can't imagine over 700,000 acres, which was the number that I had heard this morning. So visited with Commissioner Burkhardt. He said that you have some fire crews or some staff down there trying to help out with that. Just a nearly impossible situation. Last I had heard, there's still 0% contained on them. I don't know if that's accurate. Bottom line is, I would hope that everybody would keep those people in thoughts and prayers because I think they certainly need it. And I think it's a reminder for those of us here in Goshen County, we could find ourselves in a very similar situation. I think being diligent with, with what we do, with being very careful with burning trash, dragging a chain down the road, who knows what it is. They said that one started from a power pole that was blown over and off it went. So sometimes very little that we can do to control it. But if we have that ability or we have the opportunity, I hope that we'll all be very diligent in being careful with those kinds of situations. And I would yield to Tom right now. I know we're not under any kind of fire ban right now. But I think probably just a common sense reminder is probably as important as anything.
Yeah, so just remember that even though we're not in a fire ban, we're teetering in and out every day of fire weather watches and red flags. So make sure you're using your spark arresters and securing your loads, and don't throw cigarettes out the window, because with these winds that we're having and as dry as it is and the relative humidity so low, when fire does start, it's going to run quickly, just like it did down in Nebraska. So I would say just be diligent as possible.
Okay. So that's really all that I kind of wanted to touch on in my opening comments. Commissioner Burkhardt, do you have anything you would like to add this morning?
I'll just follow up. We're in red flag warnings today, and I bet we're in them the rest of the week because Friday's gonna be 85 degrees, 86 degrees on Saturday. We got some wind with that a little bit, so I think all the fire departments are kind of prepared and stood up and ready to go, but we're hoping that we're spared from what Nebraska has seen already.
Yeah, we're pretty good, but we don't need to practice.
So
Yeah, I would agree, and again, we'll keep all of them in our prayers and hope that they're able to get that in control. I think if there are no further comments, we will roll right into our departmental reports, beginning with the sheriff's report. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. How's everyone?
Good, how are you today?
Doing well.
Good to see you out at the deal in the Grange the other night. That was a fun evening.
It was a good time.
Fundraiser for the community building out there, and so had a good time with that.
A lot of food, so. For profit and loss for February of 26, we had net income of $11,372.46. That put our July through June to $330,609.42. And we currently have an open administrative assistant position that we've posted publicly. We have I think we're up to about a dozen applicants, so very, very surprising how many people have done applications. We're going to continue to accept any applications until March 31st, at which point that will be closed. Currently at 33 inmates in the jail, 3 females, 30 males, 8 are in male IOP, 1 female IOP, and we have 2 DOC inmates currently. So we're working on getting some more DOC inmates in as well.
Appreciate the information, encouraging news that there is interest at to that level in positions, so. Let the other 2 commissioners take a look at that report. Okay. Anything else?
No, sir.
Okay. I have no questions. Commissioner Burkhardt, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Commissioner Walsh?
No, I do not.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion to accept the county sheriff's report.
I'll make a motion to accept the sheriff's report.
I would second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the county sheriff's report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Social about crime.
I'll try my best.
Okay. Again, and this is just a reminder, we would typically have our treasurer report at this time. Because of some of the challenges that have come with the bookkeeping program, there will not be a report today, hopefully. With some training going on later today, and
You're gaining.
we're gaining, yes. So, as they say in broadcasting, stay tuned. We hope that will be ready for a report at the next meeting. Okay, so we're gonna jump over the treasurer's report and go down to the county clerk's report. Mary?
Okay. I have the vouchers that the bills that we paid after you guys approved first run, and then we have one set of vouchers that there were just a couple of outstanding warrants from the last fiscal year. One of them was from the fiscal year before that. So we had to void those in QuickBooks and reissue them in the new system. So that's what the very last one is.
Those are the same reports you sent us, right? Or Candace?
Yeah. And I have 2 of my employees are in Casper this week for WYO Ridge training, which is working with the computer system, the statewide computer system for our registering voters and keeping track of the voters in the state.
No, okay. Oh, here they are. That's what I thought they were. There was the one that I was thinking of.
New program seems to require a number of signatures. More detailed reporting.
Every time, like. It used to add, like, say, Pelican, or, vendors that we paid out of several different departments. It used to just, it would add them on to the previous bill that we'd already entered. But now it doesn't do that, and so when we get dragging in, vouchers, then they all did their own.
At least Commissioner Burkhardt this morning, he needs to put together background music for the meetings. I think it's gonna include some walk-up music for our,
Departments.
for our departments.
We can
Any
choose-
requests?
Do we get to choose our own, or is it? just
We'll
assigned?
take suggestions.
This is
Library like you can't believe.
this is Chris.
There we go. I did. I will expect that now.
Okay.
Okay.
I do it for all the softball girls, so I'm on cue. I can make this happen.
Okay.
Did we get all?
Got them all.
Okay.
Need a new pen, but got them all.
Exactly, yeah. All right. Mary, anything further?
No.
Commissioners, any please, for Mary, starting with Justin?
Nope.
Commissioner Walsh, thank you. Is there a motion to approve?
I'll make a motion to approve the county clerk's report and the updated warrant reports.
It's like,
It's been moved and seconded to accept the county clerk's report, including the updated warrant report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Mary. Library report. Good morning. How are you?
you should know what song to pick. You're familiar with this.
Okay, so I was just gonna touch this morning on some new programs and new resources that we have coming in the next few weeks. In addition to our normal programming that we offer. So we are collaborating with the Cheyenne High Plains Audubon Society to provide new outdoor learning opportunities. So we're soon gonna have 2 high-quality birding backpacks that will be available for checkout. They will include adult and child binoculars and some local birding resources. And these will pair perfectly with our state parks pass for a full day of exploration. And then coming up on March 28th, there will be a presentation at the library by senior wildlife biologist Grant Frost to learn about the annual migration of sandhill cranes. And following the talk, the community members are invited to Table Mountain to view the cranes in person. In April, on the 24th, we'll have educator Sarah Delgado leading a program teaching guests how to use the birding backpacks and where to find the best birding spots in our area. And then coming up this Friday, March 20th, the students from Southeast National Honor Society will be at the library to lead hands-on science activities for kids. They'll have paper airplane launchers, UV bracelets, sugar and vinegar fireworks, and pufferfish balloons. So that should be fun. And then thanks to a generous grant from the Wyoming Community Foundation, we have a new specialized kitchen cart. And we're gonna have future programming and some workshops geared towards teaching basic kitchen skills to kids and teens. We'll have more information on our first cooking event in the April community calendar. And then with summer fast approaching, we will get ready to kick off the 2026 summer reading program. That starts on June 1st with a focus on America's 250. And we're currently looking for a name for our summer reading mascot. He's currently just called the Bison. So we would like kids to stop into the library and submit their suggestions for a creative name for our mascot.
Her part, the nice.
Absolutely.
No.
I'm incredible hawk.
That's true.
There's always some exciting things going on with the library. Good to hear. Anything else?
So what's your pick for a name for the bison? You don't have
I
one?
don't have one yet.
Okay.
Just learned about it yesterday.
What's the timeline on the picking the name?
I would assume here in the next couple of months, because we'll have to have that finalized.
I think we can come up with something creative. Contribution. As the liaison, Commissioner Walsh has obviously been thinking about this.
Absolutely.
Okay. The grant, is that, tell me again, what was the name of the grant?
The Wyoming Community Foundation grant.
Good. Not you? All them? Good. All right. I have no further questions. Commissioner Burkhardt, anything?
Did you not? Thank you.
Commissioner Walsh?
We have a meeting today on noon,
Next week.
it's next week. You guys switched it on.
Yes, we do.
I know. That's why we're trying to catch up, figure out what's going on. We didn't have our email working, right? We
Next
wasn't
week,
getting
yeah.
emails, so. Perfect. That's all I got.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Their motion to approve the library.
I'll make a motion to approve the library report.
That's it.
Been moved and seconded to approve the library report. Those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Not seeing Debbie here just yet, so I think we'll jump over the assessor report. She coming or?
I just sent her an email saying we're cruising through, so she'll be showing up shortly, but
You're on record pace, but I know that we have our extension crew here. So I think we'll jump over the assessor's report and go right to the UW extension report. So.
I was actually thinking like walk like a junction, but that'll work too. That'll be fine.
Sorry to cut you off there.
Yeah, we have to ask for it. Yeah. So it's my pleasure to welcome for the first time to one of our meetings, Sabina. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
Glad to have you on staff and on board with us. A lot of exciting things going on, and I know that you have hit the ground running, so we're glad to have you at your first meeting with us, and know that the three of you probably have lots to share. So
First of all, I told you there would be a quiz from the office and guess what? That's today. No, that is not.
Yeah.
Are you prepared? Also, Commissioner Walsh, like what's happening?
Well,
Normally you're on top of those. They're not.
I know, getting squared away. I saw that this morning. It's driving me nuts, but I have not gone over there. My OCD is not taking the full here today.
That's too bad.
I know.
Just wanted to touch base on the additional lighting and the cameras in and around the extension office. It appears as though there is some digging out of the extension office. So I'm not real sure what that is all about, but it's not actually at the extension office, it's in front of the weed pest, so.
Digging,
Yeah, like with a ditch witcher,
trench.
trencher,
Mhm. Okay,
AKA ditch witcher.
tomato.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's like, if we've moved anywhere with the city of Torringtonville, or if that's just by coincidence.
Let me follow up with Kevin.
Okay.
We
Because
discussed
they're-
it briefly, but
yeah.
I don't know that anything's happening, so.
I don't know either. There's just a lot of digging activity, so. Anyhow, wanted to touch base on, there are two items, the additional lighting and the cameras in and around the extension office. Where we're at with those items. And the split with the city. In addition, I would also like to welcome our new admin/youth show coordinator, Sabina Weiss. They're so excited. So excited. And she has hit the ground. She actually was working with us for a month remotely before she started in office today. So we are delighted, beyond delighted. The Ag and Natural Resources report. So I've been a little busy proctoring exams, applicator exams, which I maybe have fumbled with one or two, but it's fine. So on the 17th, I proctored a private applicator's fumigation exam. So in case you don't know, private applicator, people who hold private applicators licenses now have to take an additional exam to be able to purchase soil fumigants. So if you want to use Phosphates or Fumitox tabs for prairie dogs, you now have to take this extra exam, have that endorsement on your license before you can even purchase and legally apply them. So I've been doing, I had one of those on February 17th. On the 19th, I did the Platte County Private Applicators class. I had approximately 40 applicants, which was down from last year, which was like 80.
Wow.
They're big over there. I proctored a commercial applicators exam. On the 20th, on the 24th, we had a youth show committee that we zoomed in Savina on. And on the 25th, proctored another commercial applicators exam. On the 26th, I had my final private applicators class. I had 34 participants. The room at the Platte Valley Bank, I had 3 seats left. I was starting to get a little nervous that we were gonna overflow the room, but that it was a good class. On the 4th, I did proctored another commercial applicators exam. And on the 6th, I had a fumigation exam, and then February 10th through the 12th. Last week, we were in Casper for an Epic 2.0 all extension meeting. So we've been updating the office, so in case you would like to hop on in and see what we've got going on. I also told Aaron that there would be a pop quiz later, so.
So is Commissioner Burkhardt exempt from?
He hasn't popped in, so how would he know? I mean, we can
That's
project
true.
him too, that's fine.
You need to pop in.
I'm gonna pick number C.
First, are you business trivia?
Yeah.
Okay,
Worked through college.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
On the 4-H side, judging has been in full force. We have a team going for all of our major judgings. Produce judging is the last one, and that will start here like early May, for them to get ready for showcase. Georgia Younglove from EWC and I have partnered together to put on clinics for the youth in the county and all counties throughout Wyoming to come to the major species clinics. Went to the youth show committee. I've been able to get clover buds off and running, and this last month we focused on rainbows and we made a neat craft with it. Our cat project started going this month. All hands, which is an all extension meeting. Robotics is huge. We got a grant at the state level for all the counties to get new robotics kits with iPads. And so we're growing that program. I was in Casper last week. I took a team down to Loveland this last weekend for a livestock judging contest. Our first and second year projects have been meeting, and then 4-H council. And then our current enrollment is up to 268 with 48 volunteers, so we've been going every direction.
I would encourage anybody that, I mean, I think we can listen to these reports and, you know, we understand that you've got a lot going on. But I think just stopping out there, you find out there's another level of it. And
We can't tell you every single thing.
that's
that goes
very
on.
true.
You'd be like, we gotta stop now.
Yeah, enough. Yeah. But it's exciting. So I don't know if the two of you have decided to throw Sabina to the wolves this morning, put her right out there for a report.
Pretty much.
Pretty much. Well, I can tell you after having sat in on the interview, I think you're up to it. Not concerned about it at all. If you wouldn't mind, tell us just a little bit about yourself. I think that people in this would like to know
Sure.
where you come from, and then we'll listen to your report.
So I am from Powell, Wyoming. So before I came here, I was working for the University of Wyoming Extension office up there. And I was their admin only. I wasn't part of the show kind of fair up there, except for the 4-H side of things. So I've been up there for about 5 years. I'm originally from there, born and raised in Powell. And my husband was from here, so we moved back to family farm down here. And so yeah, I've been super excited to come down here and finally be in the office. It's been nice. I have 2 little boys, they're 5 and 4, so it took us about a month to get our ducks in a row to get down here. So I've been just working remotely for now, but yeah, I'm super excited to be part of the extension down here and the fair, and like everyone has said, I've kind of hit the ground running, so it's been good.
On a dead sprung.
Yes. So,
Perfect.
yeah.
Okay. You know, this has been a challenge, and we've seen, I think in our terms as commissioner and having gone back even further with yours, these departments are always morphing and changing. And so I've just got to say that I feel like we have the pieces in place now. Very excited for all 3 of you. I know that Amy kind of had to hold things together for a time, and but patience and perseverance has paid off, and I'm really excited about what we have at the extension office now. To all 3 of you, thank you. Got that one, Burkhart.
No, I'm good.
You're good?
Yeah,
Okay. Of
yep,
course, you gave the walk.
I did, yeah.
Commissioner Walsh, anything you would like to add?
Well, I would like to say that we do appreciate Amy stepping up and taking care of all this. That was a big task and big ask of anybody to do all the work she was doing. And so hopefully, I know you're still busy. I know you still have a huge workload, but hopefully it's a little better. It's a little more peaceful around the office now that you have a full
Well,
staff.
now that we have Sabina,
Mhm.
because Shelby and I doing 3 jobs
Was not good. I know.
it was.
And we're so thankful for you guys that stepped up and you did that. It's great of you.
Well, I think it's worth noting that the 3 of you are still basically accomplishing 4 positions. Because we did combine the position that Sabina is currently filling. So I don't think anyone believes that there isn't still a lot of work going on among the 3 of you to cover the 4 positions. But it takes a while to find the right fit of the people that we have put in there, and so just glad to have all 3 of you on board and feel like we're in good hands. So,
And I think it warrants saying out loud also that we're working very closely with the fair board and with the fairgrounds manager and Amy. I don't want to call Lori out, but I've reached out to Lori also that if we need any help, if she has time and is willing to help us out as well. just because she did occupy this position for a really long time. And so we're building those relationships back and working very closely. So it's not just us, it's like the village. We're just in the center of the village. So that's nice also.
Well, I think that's a great point, and I think that that's been a machine that has been functioning. But I won't say it's been a well-oiled machine, and it needed a bit of an overhaul. And so I think that all sides have continued to work on that. And you know, having been on the fair board for years before I sat in this position, I understand kind of how that's morphed and where it's come from. And so I still believe that the things that we do kind of with the fair as the focus, and with the education side through the extension office, those are some of the most important things that we do in the county because of our predominantly ag base here. And so we listen to these reports and we think, well, yeah, these things just keep ginning along. But it's important to note that it doesn't happen by accident. So I think your terminology of a village is very accurate. It does take everybody involved with it. So I have nothing further. Do the three of you have anything else that you would like to present at this time? Okay. All right. Sabina, glad to have you with us.
Thank you.
Ladies, thanks all for being here. Commissioner Burkhart, anything further? Any questions? Nope. Commissioner Walsh?
Nope.
I would entertain a motion to accept the UW extension report.
I'll make a motion to accept the UW extension report.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to accept the UW extension report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ladies, thank you. Have a great day. Debbie, glad to have you with us. Can I jump back up and pick you up and then I'll get you at the end. When it was all right.
Fine.
Okay. I know we have to steal Debbie out of the assessor's office and she's got to get back.
Sure.
They'll have a party down there without her.
I have one reduction order to present.
Okay.
It's fairly large, 39.94. This is today's misunderstanding on personal property assessment, so.
Okay.
How are you guys? Has anybody ever asked how you're doing?
No. No.
Well, since you asked.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah.
I'll open that.
Commissioner Burkhart's fighting the time change and sleep.
Still?
Yeah.
Stack it up, put your big boy cape on.
Yeah.
So my office is exemptions are us.
I'm sure.
I have no numbers yet, but if I ever get there. I'll bring it to you.
You'll be the first to know.
We thought we were doing something.
You know, the exemptions, I mean, themselves, I think, you don't know that it's going to be. For it, I mean, the personal property exemption is all, so that's gonna be probably a sizable one, so. I think that the LTHO, because every residential got it last year and only those that applied this year are getting it, that will. Kind of even that out a little bit. Taxpayers will be happy once they figure this out, but it is what it is. We've had a few more applicants on the LTHO. This is a big one, but actually the ones that actually are the hard part is if you have multiple houses on a property that have applied for an exemption, because the exemptions don't apply correctly. So I have to go in and hand calculate them. And that's been extremely time consuming.
Okay. All right, there are those.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Do you need the amount?
39.5904.
Yep, okay. That's it.
Okay,
Come see me if you're bored.
okay.
Everybody with exemption.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it, Deb. I would entertain a motion to accept the assessment.
Make a motion to accept the assessor's report and the reduction.
It's like,
Move and second to accept the accessory report, including the reduction order. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Our final departmental report, fair report. Good morning, Leno. Morning. Thanks for being with us.
You.
to hit the busy season of fairgrounds, huh?
Yeah.
Well,
No, there's plenty to do. There's college rodeo, of course, is next week. Plan on getting the bathrooms opened up, probably this week. I should have them all ready to go. I would like to thank the Road and Bridge for giving us or lending us, giving us the rotomillings. The west side RVs are for the most part done. I don't know how to apply the borax, they said to seal it, like Dillman Estates Road, to make it look like that. So as soon as they enlighten me, I'll run the roller over it and seal it like it's supposed to be. And I did speak with Chris, and he's on board or would like to help us to do the same thing with the west side of the rendezvous center. So as soon as I pull me some measurements on where we can put the pan or where the water drains out, then get everything taken care of.
for the full lot,
I'm sorry,
for the full lot on the west side of the, oh,
eventually.
that'd be.
If anything, we'd like to start with a little L first, right off the concrete, and then come around over where was southwest area, by the fence right there,
Mhm.
right in that neighborhood. And then if we can, we'll expand little by little, or if time permits, put it all in one shot. But we need their equipment.
Expertise,
Mhm.
yeah.
The other is, let's see. Although, as far as the college rodeo, I'll start power washing inside there. Probably Saturday, Sunday, maybe Friday. Get all that taken care of. Put up board out the rest of the week. Give it time to dry. There's three windows on the ag hall that need to be replaced. One of them's, I may need some help. Little sketchy, is way up on top, on the very top. And the other two that I can get to from the inside, so I took care of those also. A little while ago, at the beginning of the meeting, we talked about the fire department stuff. The alarms went off in the rendezvous center Saturday. And the fire department was called, and I was able to call dispatch and let them know that, they didn't have to show up. I showed up in time to get the door opened up and or to reset the alarm. I would like to talk to the boss and see if she's available, or she'd be willing to get me a Knox box, or a box that we can put the key to that door, so that the fire department or whoever has access, can get access to it, to open that door to reset the panel if need be, just in case I'm not there for whatever reason. I think it'd be handy to have. So that's one thing that I'd like to address. And as far as the smoke, the breaker was tripped, so it didn't allow that other fan to kick on and get that smoke out of there. So I looked at that this morning. The belts are fine.
The fire alarm works.
Forward. Sorry,
The fire alarm works.
yeah.
It did its job. Did it
That's
all.
positive there. As far as that, that's all I got. Plenty to do.
The, yeah, the RV area looks very nice. Yeah, and I always think if we're ever gonna get moisture in Goshen County, it's gonna be in the west parking lot at the rendezvous center before a wedding or a funeral. When people are trying to go in there, in their Sunday best, and so I think that's a great idea. I'm glad to hear that would be next on the agenda, so I look forward to seeing that there.
It does make for great wedding pictures,
Yes,
standing knee deep in water, holding your bride.
you can, that's comes from experience.
Yes.
Yeah. So, no other damage. You mentioned the ag hall, but no other real damage from the wind.
Now, before this last burst of wind that came through, there was some of the tin that was, the screws had pulled out, or the tin had pulled from the screws. And I had went up there, opened it up a little bit more, reset the screws, and then was able to tack everything back together. So that part's good. As far as from what I saw, it's just the windows.
Okay. Well, that's good news, because as hard as the wind's blowing, It could have been much
Mhm.
worse.
Mhm.
Okay. Um. Exciting with the college rodeo coming out there. I think kind of a great reminder of what that facility means to UWC. The importance of and the full house that will be out there for the college rodeo is maybe the biggest reminder, other than county fair, of the importance of that facility and why it is increasingly important to address what that facility means to the county.
Mhm.
So,
I
Yeah.
myself, sorry.
I was just gonna say, if people haven't been out there to attend the college rodeo in the past, I know that Coach Peterson would love to invite everybody out. Next Friday, I think it's 27th, 28th,
Mhm.
29th,
27, 28, 29.
yeah. So,
I myself, for all the events, or everything that shows up, I'm very grateful.
it's job security.
Yes.
Okay,
All I
all
got.
right,
Appreciate
thanks,
your time.
Leno.
Thank you.
Appreciate you coming in. Questions for Leno? You know what I'm saying? Okay, is there a motion to approve?
Make motion to approve the fair report.
I'd say,
It's been moved and seconded to accept the fair report. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Those of you that haven't noticed, we're missing our clock. I think this is record time, but I don't know for sure because we don't have a clock. Actually, through those departmental reports in record time, if it's okay with everybody, I'll take a brief, just a brief recess here. And then come back and move into old business, new business, and the next portion of our agenda.
do we need to pick up Chris too when we come back?
He was
Nope.
kidding.
No, yeah,
He was.
he's just here for whole sport. All right,
That's
Take
exactly
a
what
break.
I came with that right there, the entertainment value.
Just the reaction.
All right.
Also, Make up a light and it's. Oh, yeah. If I'm out of it, get them. To distract.
okay. To new business, Tom, are we okay over there? Okay. And under the item of new business, we have conversation and just an ability to visit about possible sales and use tax to fund county infrastructure projects. So after, I think I was gonna say after our previous meeting when we had Kevin in here and he was talking about some of the issues that we have with different situations in the courthouse and having talked at length with people like Eric Boyer about the condition of their offices and different things here in the courthouse. It is probably the greatest challenge that we face as commissioners, and I think it's as a county, trying to figure out how do we fund and how do we take care of what we need to as far as the infrastructure that we need to have in place in order to do our jobs as commissioners and to direct the works of the county. And the only way really to do that is through the taxes that we receive or that are collected. And that is where probably the major challenge comes in for Goshen County. And so the conversation as it pertains to the possibility of an additional sales or use tax that would possibly fund those types of infrastructure improvements is something that it is important for us to begin the conversation to find out what's the temperature of the county? What do the people, what do they understand about the process? Which when I talk about the process, obviously, having never been through it myself, knowing that Commissioner Walsh has never been through something like this, as we're on a level playing field with our time, and I don't believe that you have been involved with that. So we have to go to, and it's always most important to remember, there are state statutes, there are things that guide that process and how that's handled, and how we go about it. So that would be the first thing. The second thing is we have to listen to the people of the county. We need to put it out there. We need to have the ability to have the conversations with not only county representatives from the municipalities, and the people. People need to have the ability to say, what's on their mind when it comes to the possibility of additional taxes. Because ultimately, it's them, it's us that pay for those. So that becomes the second thing. And then I think the third part of it, in my opinion, is the imperative responsibility of us as commissioners to make sure that the people of the county understand this is what we need. This is where we're at. And it's not, I don't want to get into a thing of saying we all need a new credit card that we can use to go to fancy conferences or to do fun things as commissioners. It's real world things that include dealing with a septic smell in the basement of our courthouse, of dealing with black mold that's in the courthouse side of it because of the leaks in the ceiling and what they've had to do to prop up that part of it. We're talking about so much infrastructure that is well over 100 years old. And there are certain things that I think that we as commissioners, this group of commissioners, would be remiss if we didn't at least begin the conversation. Because this is the proverbial kicking the can down the road and just trying to wait for somebody else that has to deal with it at some point. Now, I've talked about maybe this building, this structure, this facility here, but I think that probably every department that comes in and reports to us on a monthly basis would say, this is where our structure, this is where our facility is lacking. We heard from the ladies with Extension, what are we going to do for security? What are we going to do for lighting out there? The fairgrounds, that has been, that O&M issue out there has gone on for years and years, mainly because an account that was established when that was built has long since run out. That account has come to a point where there are different things like those. And like I said, I think we could talk about probably every department and what their needs are when it comes to not even so much improving, it's surviving at different times. It's being able to turn on the lights, being able to have an air conditioner. It's being able to have heat in the wintertime. We've heard Kevin come in and we like to give Kevin grief about it, but it seems like every time he comes in, there is something new and different that comes up from a maintenance report that is like you plug one hole and two more start leaking over here. So that is where the conversation has started. And I want to open this up to, and I'm going to yield to first my fellow commissioners to add to that portion of it. And then I think that with public comment being right on the heels of that, I think that it's an opportunity to allow any other conversation that people would like to add to it at that point. So Commissioner Burkhart, I'm going to yield to you and allow for your thoughts, and then I'll go to Commissioner Walsh.
I don't know that I got any more additional thoughts than what you have, but it's kind of those things is, if we don't deal with them today, they're going to be emergency tomorrow. And quite frankly, I think we are already in that emergency state when we got mold growing in offices and sewer pipes that were cracked and Hannah's gotta sit there and smell sewer all day. I mean, that's we shouldn't be putting our employees through that. So I think we're kind of to that point now that we've got to start doing something. So it's kind of where I'm at.
I guess my biggest thing on this deal is I just want some clarification of like the timeline of what we're looking at for, that if we put a tax in place or put it on the ballot to have this put in place, is this gonna be just, for a certain period of time till all these projects are finished and completed, and then we remove this? Or is this, I just wanna have some idea how this is gonna work, because I don't want it to be like the interstate program where we continue to add to it, and it's never ending.
I think it's project based, right? So if you get the full amount of what the projects are, then you'll have to run that for however long it needs to be to cover that bond. So if it's I think a penny tax for easy estimations is about $2 million a year. So if we got $8 million for the repairs, it's got to run for 4 years, and then after that is done, then that falls off.
Right.
That's how I understand it. Yeah.
And I think even to that point, because of different laws that restrict our ability to sit down and have these conversations outside of a public meeting, I think that it is important to understand that we as commissioners are visiting about this for the first time. It is something that I think that we probably all had on the back of our mind, but as far as having sat down, had any kind of a planning session when it came to this is what we need to identify, this is what we need to ask for, these are the different things. Those are the conversations, and so that should stress the infancy of the conversation and where it's at and where it could go from here. Because I think, once again, we probably all three have things to learn when it comes to what does that look like. So, and I will yield to Mary, because I think that Mary has obviously probably from your position, maybe you can add to that when it comes to timelines, procedure, anything that has to do with that. I also know that Eric Boyer can. And so anything that you would like to add at this time, or?
Well, this is really new. So I have been trying to do some research and get timelines figured out. It's very iffy on if we could be all gathered up and get it as a question on the general ballot, if that's what you guys are thinking, because the municipalities also will be involved, and they have to come up with things that they would spend money on for improvements and things in their areas. And so sometimes it takes a bit to come to get all of that going. I think that, like, the first thing, you guys would hold some public meetings and like get public comment, maybe at the Rendezvous Center or something. And if you were going forward with it and it didn't all come together in time, there also could be a special election where there's only the one thing for people to vote on. That's also a possibility. But
I think these requests need to be held to critical infrastructure needs, not on a wish list, I think it needs to be kind of concise on what everybody's asking for, so. It's kind of my opinion on that too, or not a wish list, it's what needs to be fixed. What needs our county, what needs to be addressed within our municipalities and our county to adequately provide services.
I think every building that the county owns has things that the extension office leaks water, the public health needs a new roof. we have,
Jails.
the jail has, they've been coming with things that are expensive to fix that have been kicked down the road. So it's definitely a necessity. It's but I think it takes time to get the word out and let people know that it's a necessity, because if they show up to vote in November and there's 4 or 5 tax questions on the ballot and they haven't heard anything about it, it may not pass.
I don't have, I mean, obviously, as just a little over a 3-year commissioner, I don't have a ton of experience or sage advice when it comes to this type of thing, but I do know this. I have learned that the most important thing is for the people to be able to talk about it and for the people to be heard. And I think in a couple of instances, the opportunity that we have provided at the Rendezvous Center on 2 different occasions for people to come in and just to be able to voice their opinion, to be able to talk about what's on their mind, is maybe the most important thing, the most valuable thing that we have been able to provide. And that would be my wish, and my intention would be to promote that and to allow the conversation to begin there, or to be furthered there. And we know that that requires a certain notification period. And obviously, I know that this being the last meeting in March, all of a sudden we're into April. Some of these things have to be put into motion. So this would be something that would have to be decided, in my opinion, at the first meeting in April, and or possibly even announced prior to that. I would be open to discussion when it comes to that, because is it a 2-week notice that we have to publish and make sure that
For a public meeting.
for a public hearing? Yeah. So commissioners, any further thoughts when it comes to that? How you would like to proceed with that?
Probably got to get it scheduled. My opinion.
I think that I would agree, and I guess I feel like with time being of the essence, that it would be my recommendation that reach out to Stephanie, see when there is a weeknight available that we could get into the Rendezvous Center after a opportunity to publish for 2 weeks and advertise that type of meeting, that we would welcome the public in, have community conversation when it comes to where do we go with it. So I will reach out to Stephanie, find out when we could schedule that, and we will publish that, advertise that just as soon as we're able to set that public opportunity. So as I mentioned at the beginning, if there are thoughts or input from any of you here this morning, I would like to open it up for public comment. If there is anything that anybody would like to add to that conversation, I would open it up at this point for that.
I suppose the only thing I'd like to mention is with the receipt of over $600,000 from the Derby Fund, would that help an awful lot on immediate maintenance?
That actually just offset the property tax reduction. So I
I
didn't
thought
do
the
anything.
offset was only $300,000.
That's what our Derby Club is, about $300,000 a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Okay, because at the state it shows how much was distributed. That's all I'm saying. I suppose the other thing I guess I would keep in mind, I'm sure this is going to be controversial, I don't really care. We have a private fire department that received $200,000 last year. Have a $3 million budget. There's $200,000 there. I guess all I'm saying, I mean, emergency repairs, my whole background is in construction. Emergency repairs, you do have a reserve fund, but it's that deadly, especially if sewer fumes are coming. You can get sued quite quickly. Why is that emergency fund or balance that you have not being used right now to repair that sewer.
What fire?
Yoder,
That's pass-through money, that's not money that the county's giving them. That's money that comes in and we distribute out. It's not county money.
It's not county money.
No.
It's tax money, but it's not county money.
It's not money we can say, we don't wanna give Yoder money, even though they got it from it got sent to us to distribute to them. We have no choice of spending that money for something else.
Okay. Tax money.
It is tax money, but it's not Goshen County.
It's not tax money for Goshen County.
But it's tax money.
It's federal tax money, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what.
So at least it's coming back to Goshen County. But the county has no oversight over that. That's their own board, that's their own district, everything. Same with Lingle, same with Torrington. The county has nothing to do with those entities. So we can't go to veteran fire
I'll
departments.
do more research. Thank you.
That's perfect.
Yes, Dorothy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I would just like to offer a suggestion that maybe the commission look into the possibility of a quarter-cent tax versus a cap tax. That quarter-cent would be renewable every 4 years by the voters, which is fair, and I believe the cap tax, when whatever the designated amount is, you've reached that, then the tax is dropped. True. So we know that roofs that are leaking today, in 4 years when it's paid off, there's some others that are going to be leaking. So the voters would have the option of renewing that quarter-cent every 4 years. I believe the quarter-cent that we currently have in place in the county is 18, 19 years old. I think the voters have been generous in renewing that quarter-cent for nearly 20 years. So over a period of 20 years in this county, a considerable fund could be raised to address these issues that are going to be ongoing. They're not just going to fix those problems we currently have. There's surely going to be new issues. So just a suggestion that maybe a quarter-cent might be a better option.
Okay. Yes.
First of all, I want to commend this commission for looking into the future and not just saying it's not my problem because my term is only X number of years long. You guys are working with something that's going to affect the county generations to come, which is exactly what happened when they built the original courthouse. And when they encased sewer pipes in concrete, they weren't thinking of the future. And I'm not sure that we can talk in terms of emergency repair funds when we're talking about something that's so deeply embedded in the infrastructure that it's going to take major new construction to fix it. Which leads me to say that we probably shouldn't try to jump into this without a lot of prep work. And I realize you three are already completely burdened with what you do, with running the day-to-day aspects of the county. But it seems to me that we need to have work sessions with every single community and talk to the elected officials in each community and see what is desperately needed in their community, instead of saying, oh, we're going to do this tax and what would you like? Because immediately they go to war with one another, deciding what they would like and forget to think about what they actually need. So first of all, you need to reach out to the communities to determine what the real desperate dire needs are, looking into the future, not just what needed to be done last week, but what needs to be done to make sure that there isn't something falling apart in the next 3 or 4 years. So you need to reach out to the communities, you need to reach out to their elected officials, then you need to figure out a really comprehensive plan to educate the voters. Because people are immediately going to say, I don't want to pay any more taxes than grandpa did. And I don't want to pay any more tax. I don't want my grandkids paying more taxes than I have to pay. So you need to have a very specific plan. How much is it going to cost to meet the desperate needs of every community in this county? And then how are we going to educate the public and get the public's input? Because you're right, that's vital.
Yep.
But it has to be a comprehensive plan. It can't be gone out from the top and not planned out very specifically. And I think your point, Commissioner Walsh, that does this continue forever? How do we make sure it doesn't continue forever? How do we make sure it's focused on what we need? But having been a part of the 6 penny tax discussion several years ago, was poorly presented, poorly planned, and poorly executed, and had a bad outcome in the end. And this seems like so much more reasonable to approach systematically. But I commend you for the hard work you do. And thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the comments, and I think that those are the very things that we need to hear. So. Yes, no.
I myself, I'd like to help, I'd like to help in any direction that I can. If it's gonna keep things operating and safe, I'm in. The others. I'm okay with that. You know, like the young lady said, is public comment, let people be heard.
Yeah, because I think, there are lots of questions, and tax is taboo. I mean, people do not want to hear that. I don't want it. I don't think any of us do, but it's really the only way to address our situation. And we truly do have a situation. So I kind of dreaded the conversation. I don't look forward to going through this process, but I think that it's imperative that we lead this and that we try and do what we can as this group of commissioners to hopefully ensure down the road that it is approached differently and that it's approached the right way.
And just to the sewer stuff, we are getting quotes on that to get that fixed. That's not something that we're just sitting on waiting, but we do need to address that. But I mean, there's bigger problems than that. You fix that and then you got more stuff, so.
Mr. Walsh, anything else you'd like to add?
It's amazing to me that the deferred maintenance has gone on for as long as it has, and nobody else has ever approached a solution to this problem. This shouldn't be a new thing. We should have experienced it at some point. And some of this stuff should be taken care of. We go around this courthouse and we see all the stuff that needs repaired, and how much stuff has been neglected for so many years that this should have been something that was taken care of a long time ago. And so to move forward doing this it's almost become more of an emergency than something that should have been pushed forward sooner. So
yeah. Well, and I like your comments. I think that sometimes we lose sight of what has to be done or what needs to be done as opposed to what we would like to have done. And I would hope that the people of the county would understand this is not driven by what we would like to have done. It's by what we really need to have done. So I will close my comments about it. With that, I will make sure that Mary is made aware of when we have a public comment opportunity scheduled. And certainly do appreciate all of the input that we've had this morning. Is there anything further that anyone would like to add? Is there anything further that needs to come before this meeting of the Goshen County Commissioners? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
I'll second that.
It's been moved and seconded that we adjourn this meeting of the Goshen County Commissioners. Those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries and the meeting is adjourned. Folks, thank you for coming. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.